first progression on the serve is actually just throwing the ball. First progression is throwing the ball. What have we learned about the serve? We've learned like 5 things about the serve just by throwing the ball. Body turned sideways. Elbow came back high. We stepped forward and we threw. In other words, our weight transfer went onto the front foot. Is Lindsay throwing the ball up or down? Up. When you hit the ball on your serve, should you be hitting down on the ball or up on the ball? Up. How tall do you have to be before you can hit down on the serve? 6'8". I'm actually lying. I don't know if it's 6'7" or 6'8". I can't remember. It's one of those two, so that was perfect. So if you are shorter than him, you have to hit up on the serve. Okay? So in a second, we're going to spread out. But the next progression is I'm going to stand here. My elbow's high. I'm not scratching my back. I'm patting my head. It does not make any difference on the serve. If I go like this, okay, it makes no difference as long as I get to this point. That's why you see some pros just go right there and others go down and around. Makes no difference. But this is what you're looking for, is this spot right here. So I'm going to stand close to the net, toss, and just hit it. Then I scoot back. Lindsay grabs her racket, and she does the same. Okay? So spread out with your partner, and we're going to do those 2 first progressions, and then I'll add on to it. The first is just tossing. And you can have like 6 or 8 per court. On to the progression I showed you where the one person's at the net. They toss and tap. Toss and tap, then the other person catches and return and tosses and tap. Good. Remember to hit up on the ball, not down. As soon as I started seeing you toss, I saw a lot of contact points here. On this drill, you're starting with your elbow back, so that guarantees I can see you reach all the way up. Give me 5 more where I want to see full extension of that arm on contact. Okay, what's the most important shot in tennis? Return of serve. And we never practice it, okay? It's the most important shot. So now you and your partner, you're gonna toss, same thing, and you can take 3 or 4 steps back from the net. You're gonna tap the serve, and they're gonna return it back to you. You'll do 5, they do 5. With each one that you get over, take a step back. Work yourself back, all right? 5 serves, 5 returns. Good, and so she's return it. Remember, the return should be gentle so that your partner can catch the ball. Serve, return, +1. That's the next most important shot. The majority of tennis points end in under 4 shots. So you need to practice the first 4 shots. Serve, I want to see the returner using their feet to step forward, and I want to see that server coming down and getting the next shot. And then that'll send it right over to the other person to serve. Serve, return, +1. Go. Serve, return, +1. Again, I'm not stuck behind a basket. I don't have 40 people at a line with coming up and hitting 1 serve and going to the end of the line. And also, when you do that with the basket, it's pretty quick to get brainless, okay? Whereas this, you know if you're not doing it right because your partner couldn't get to the ball. So you have a little bit of pressure, and pressure is important to learn how to under pressure, because then I've got to really make sure I'm doing it right so that you get to hit the next ball. Whereas if I stood at the baseline and just whacked serve all day, it doesn't really help. So the practice has got to be when you put in the games at the end, it adds that sense of pressure. So they see, can you really do this? Can you really make the forehand go cross court? Can you really make the serve go serve out wide? So you think about progression. We were serving straight ahead, that's totally fine. But obviously as you progress on the serve, serving cross court, adding a return cross court, adding a third shot, that could be your cooperative game. You and your partner have 3 minutes to see how many times you can complete that set. Serve, return, +1, catch. Serve, return, +1, catch. Each time you get all 3 shots, you and your partner get a point. Then the same thing, do it against the other team, right? You got 5 minutes, first team to get to 10 wins. So same exact skill is now a game.